There we go. Hey, folks. Welcome. It is October 28th. Boy, oh boy, time is flying. October 28th. And man, is time flying. It is really flying fast. This is show number 22 of Cool Crap We Love. And there's been some mistakes, almost like I'm tripping over our tongue, like I was being part of an election. We were supposed to have Larry Chance on tonight, and apparently Larry had a problem with his computer this last 24 hours, and we said we can't do that, and then we ended up getting in place of him this gentleman from the Tokens, who I believe I worked with many years ago, and then today he thought it was on like a Zoom. He didn't realize it was a Zoom call or something, and he said he didn't get a haircut, and we told him to put on a hat, and but he really wanted to make himself look appropriate to be on film, so he'll probably be on like maybe next week or something. So things have been really strange. And you know, not that the last minute pinch hitter coming in is Chris Monty, because we've been thinking of having Chris Monty on here for the longest time. And I love Chris Monty. He's a great guy, a great comic. And I'm so happy to have him jump in and help us out here tonight. And he's not second or third best. He's actually would have been first best, but it just ended up happening that way tonight. So no apology to Chris, but we love Chris and we're happy to have him, and we would have had him anyway. And here he is tonight. And getting along, it's time. Guess what? Let me bring on my partner in crime, the man who actually takes cool craps on a daily basis. That you all know and love him. His name is Walt Poops Leos. There he is. There he is.
let me tell you something. That story you told me brought a tear to my eye.
What story did I told you?
The Larry Chance, the Billy Reed. You left out that I called up and asked Jimmy Schubert. He told me no. and then I says, well, Chris Roach was on already. So let's recall Chris Monty. Now, Monty's a great guy. He's
a great guy.
He's
how we spoke about having him come in.
I love Monty, man.
Yeah.
Monty's. Now we got Halloween coming up, man. This is a perfect time for a Halloween show.
Right. So everything was supposed to be music based, and we put everything together. In the last 30 minutes, we put everything together. Say, hey, let's just talk about Halloween, because Halloween is coming right up.
It's right on Saturday.
What is this Halloween thing? That's right.
So now I sent you a picture of a mask of Gene Simmons. Right. I sent you a picture. Bring up the mask. Look how cool this mask is.
Okay.
Look how cool that is. Looks real, right? It almost looks like Gene Simmons is there. What?
It's 40. It says $46.95.
Well, that should have been the tip off. That should. So you have the bigger picture of that? The bigger picture I sent you?
Want to make it
bigger?
See
how nice this mask is.
It looks pretty. They give you the plastic chest plate there as well.
Yeah,
right?
The plastic chest plate. Now, that's a nice mask. I mean, who wouldn't want to buy that for $46, right?
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, who wouldn't buy that? I bought it. I bought it, and I want to show you what you get for $46.
Is it a balloon with a string that you put a handkerchief over and make believe it's a ghost? Let's see what it is. Okay.
This is what you get.
No.
It doesn't move to my face. This is what you get. Here's the plate. This is horrible.
That is horrible.
This
really is. That's like a Freddy Krueger-ish rendition of Kiss.
So realistically,
you know it's an improvement for you, though.
The only thing I could do with this mask is actually show you how sucky it is on this show.
It is pretty sucky. Is this like when you put it on your head? I'm going when you put it on your head, does it have that smell of that bad Chinese like rubber that you get from the Orient, like that nasty kind of like it wasn't like ASTM improved, FDA improved from the U.S.
I could actually taste the COVID in here.
That's how what does COVID tastes like.
I could taste the COVID, and I got to tell you, when I took it out of the box, I saw it had like little, like they didn't even paint it right. Look at his lip.
It's really pathetic. You know, as a matter of fact, we should melt it down and use it as formaldehyde when you die and just inject it into your body. It'll last forever. It'll be good.
Don't ever bury me with this mask on. That was horrible. That was the worst $46 I ever spent.
The worst thing, though, is to see a guy in his 50s walking around wearing a mask in 2020.
You know, I had this plan to come on here on the Halloween show, and you introduced me as the guest being Gene Simmons, and then I sit down, I get the leather jacket on, it looks real.
I would fall for
I would
it.
painted my eyes black so you couldn't see my nothing. Couldn't do it.
Well, I think you could come on next week, perhaps as Bruce Jenner. Try that.
Bruce,
pull down your pants and pull down your pants and let us know if it's really you, Dad, Mom, whatever you may be.
Brucey Jenner, that's a good costume, actually.
Actually, that would be. As a matter of fact, how about if you were half and half? You were like the Bruce before and the Bruce after.
Yeah.
Kellogg's cereal 1970, and now Kellogg's like sugary cereal 2020.
That is actually a great costume, except that Bruce, the man part of him, is just so generic that you wouldn't even know it was him.
True. But we are here to talk about
Halloween. Halloween.
That's right, Halloween. And when I think about Halloween and being very young, as a young boy growing up in Brooklyn, New York.
Young strapping lad.
Strapping lad. I was far from a strapping lad. I was strapped as a lad.
This was all I could dream about as a young boy was being allowed to go to Epstein Island.
Yeah. And now you could be the guy taking the kids there, right?
I could be that guy.
Actually, you kind of look like you should be Father O'Malley asking children if they want to nick a Snickers bar. So hey, we did this real quick, put it all together.
Yeah,
here it is. And
go trick or treating.
It's Halloween. Let me ask you a question. When you were a kid, I do have pictures of me and my brother as kids during Halloween, and one of them, I was Zorro.
The gay blade.
At the time, I guess it wasn't the gay blade. At the time,
that came later.
Yeah, and I do have
you morphed into that.
Yep, and it was in a backyard in my grandfather's house, and there was I think my brother was a pirate. I was Zorro, and we had a cat named Maximilian in the backyard, and we were like, couldn't wait to go out and get that candy. What were you? And this is like 5 or 6 or 7. What were you?
I don't remember what my parents. I know we used to go to like Woolworths and buy that costume with the plastic mask that went over your face and the elastic band with that little. What do you call that? They call that the shoelace thing that would hold the elastic on.
Oh, sorry, Biden. Sorry, Biden. Say it again.
No, but they give you that little slit to breathe through. So you had to keep lifting your mask up just to breathe to put it back down again. And
do you remember that you get all the moisture on the inside, like from breathing, all your moisture would get wet on the inside. I mean, talk about germs. That's worse than COVID. I mean, if you think about that stuff when you were a kid,
that's how it started. But then you'd have that mask on all night trying to get candy, and it would start smelling like an old person's hallway.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Charlie Fisher goes, "Did I miss anything?" Yes.
Not really.
You missed the market today as it fell apart.
Yep.
Hey, Daniel Miller's here. He's from Canada, so obviously they didn't have any Halloween in Canada. They just look creepy, generally speaking.
Do they? I don't know. Do they have Halloween in Canada?
You tell us, Daniel. Do they have Halloween and we're getting jokes here. Look at it. Why they think we're doing the Jackie show?
Right.
Why can't Frankenstein have kids, but the nuts are in his neck? Great joke. I love that joke, and I will not use that.
Who gave that joke? Who was that?
That was Brian Kay. He's like me. He just loves jokes. Here's another one. Why can't witches have babies? Because their husbands don't have
Halloweenies. I knew that one.
That's a classic too. And guess who
How
else
old is that guy?
Brian. Dan, all right. Homemade costumes were the best using your imagination. Yes, they did have Halloween in Canada.
He did. He did. You know what they used to give out? The big thing? Those urinal cakes.
Urinals. Yeah, urinals.
Urinal cakes.
Yeah, Chris Monty's probably wondering what the hell are they talking about.
Since I joke all the fans.
Daniel Miller lives up in northern Canada, and we had him on cam one day, and he went and showed her his house. He had an actual urinal, Chris Monty, in his house that you could just stand there and take a pee of in his house. He has no bathroom; he has a urinal. Which I'm thinking, like, what they do? Took a little schoolhouse and knocked it down and left, built their own.
It's so weird. It's like even like one of those ice fishing those cabins don't have a urinal in them.
I bet you he goes ice fishing. That's probably how he gets most of his summer food that he
He's
frees.
sitting there like one of those grumpy old men.
Because there's no Gandhi. That's one of my favorite jokes, by the way.
Yeah,
Brian.
that's a good one. All right, Brian, stop.
He's like, all right, we'll do it. Give it to the Jackie show on Monday.
All right, you guys should have done Halloween jokes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so speaking of candy, I have a bunch of candy I brought up here and a bunch of costumes as well.
So we used to, anyway, I used to wear those costumes, but the big one when I was able to go by myself, I used to take a little shoe polish, put it on my face, grab a pillowcase, and I go as a bum. Every year I was a bum.
Really?
Yeah, and then I morphed into it. That's what I am now.
Well, are you trying to say that black people are bums? Is that what
I did not say that. They were. I was dirty.
Right. By the way, where are those photos?
From laying on the street?
Where are those photos so we can make sure you never get into politics? If you were in blackface, that's what I want to see.
Never took a photo. No, but it was you just put a little bit on you just to make it look like you were sleeping on the street.
Right. I do remember people. The bum costume was like, Mom, can I have money for a costume? And she's like, we don't have any money. Make one up. And then you were either the bum with the stick and the thing and the little shoe polish, or you were the
man from space.
No, it was the ghost, the sheet, like the ghost.
Yeah, right.
And the cardboard box covered in tinfoil.
Yeah, we're TV. What? TV, right?
Right. Yeah, those are the simple ones. And by the way, what was the name of the company that made those cheap masks? They were in a square box, and it had the flame retardancy was very important. Later on, it came out flame retardant. You couldn't light it on fire because apparently kids would burst into flames when they're trick-or-treating.
That is so stupid. Right, and the mask would be on top so you could see it through the cellophane.
Right, through the cellophane. And then all of a sudden, years later, they were talking about they had to be flame retardant. It was a big thing in the 70s. It had to be flame retardant. They came
I
out.
don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. And
I've never had a costume go on fire.
I remember seeing Channel 4, like, people testing it with a lighter, trying to see if
Hi, this is Kaidi Tong.
Yeah.
And we're going to light this Iron Man costume on fire, right?
I don't think it was Iron Man. Back in the day, it was Captain America, Superman. Everyone wanted
Superman and Batman. I always had a Batman costume somewhere.
Batman.
I still might have one upstairs.
And why would they make them? Why would they have that cheap little staple in the corners that always?
It wasn't a staple.
It was a little.
It was like a little thing that went into a hole, and then it
No,
worked
we're not
like
talking
a
about
molly.
real life. We're talking about the mask.
It worked like a molly. Like it went in behind the wall and it wouldn't come out.
No, Walt. I believe it was a small mini staple, but I
Oh,
could be
really?
wrong. It could be a mile. I thought it was
Listen,
a very.
You're a lot poorer than I was because I got the little thing that went in and acted like a molly.
You could be right. And by the way, we just blew 15 minutes of the show jacking around nothing. I don't know. We haven't even gotten to the topic yet.
We didn't even get to the candy that we hated.
Yeah.
That we loved.
I just want to make this point though. Why? I don't know. I remember when I'm wearing that plastic stupid mask and the little piece of elastic that came to the sides. The elastic on the side had this little staple, and it wasn't like you took the piece of elastic and stapled it over it.
Yeah.
You didn't like tie it in or make a knot so once you put it on and you pulled it up and down once or twice, it would just slip out.
Yeah.
Every time. And then you go put it in and then it would snap because it was dried and sitting in the box for 3 months. But meanwhile, flame retardancy, that was perfection. That was
it. And all it was just a one little thing that went over you and had a little tie in the back that tied it up here. But I love those costumes, but that's what we could afford back then. I never had.
You remember your mother used to tell you, it's cold out. Put it over the jacket.
No.
A corduroy like brown jacket with a
hood, right?
coat with the hood, and then you put this flame retardant piece of plastic over you that said Superman. And
but I couldn't do that because they weren't that big. So the worst was you put the costume on. Your mother said, go put a jacket on. And you were a superhero that went outside in a jacket and all you could see was the pants and the stupid mask through the hood.
It was more like retard workshop parade, really, if you think about it.
You think somebody would have come up with like Halloween in July?
Well, they did, and I think in Brooklyn they used to have the thing called the Ragamuffin Parade that happened at a different time in the summer or something, I believe.
I don't know, man. But
Anyway,
the candy we used to get, I used to hate some of the candy, and I used to love it, and I used to trade it. I was a candy trader.
That's what I said, Bob. But
what do you say?
It says what Walt is right.
Walt is right about what went into the hole. I told you it was a little like it had a like like the little things on the end of your shoelaces. Those little things that go through the holes. This went through the hole, but then turned sideways so it couldn't come out.
Ah. Hey, now, Sonny, back to, I'm using a reach or grab a stick to give out candies. Now, this is interesting. I did a private party up in New Jersey, northern New Jersey, this past Sunday, and it was past I don't know, it was exit 163 in the Parkway. You get off exit one. Actually, no, it was 171 or something.
Montvale?
Yeah, Montvale. That's the area. Nice, really nice area.
Yeah.
And there's these signs, and a friend of mine who's a kids entertainer told me this. I didn't believe it though, but as I drove through town, the signs that you see for politics, like I want Trump or Biden or whatever, plastic things. They had plastic things, all the houses that I was driving down the street in this town, and it said, you're allowed to come to our house I forget how it was worded, but you're allowed to come. We're okay for our house for cotton candy, for Halloween for candy. And there's
that's cool.
Signs that say, sorry, we'll see you next year.
Okay.
I'm like, seriously? Like, really? You really got
to like the one that said sorry next year.
Well, more importantly, and then I was also told that they were giving out these tubes. So you could, when you put the candy down a tube, it slides down the bag. Yeah, the whole thing, it's insanity.
They had a kid the other day that they showed invented a gigantic slingshot with a bucket on it, and he put the bag of candy in it, and he was shooting it to the kids on the sidewalk. That's what he's going to do.
Fisher, that's the guy that told me about the signs, and I didn't believe him, but I saw it firsthand. And look who's there. Kathy Ragamuffin and Bay Ridge, always in the. Oh, by the way, Kathy Whitaker likes you. She loves the idea that you had White Castles at your wedding.
Oh, see? Yeah. Well, look at how she's dressed. I don't know if I'm too thrilled with that. I always attract the weirdos.
Or vice versa. My grandmother used to give out pennies. Now, by the way,
right,
you said that earlier to me off the air.
Yes.
That's right. It was Ben Cooper costumes. Thank you, Joe. Ben Cooper.
Thank you, Joe.
That was it. That's right. Happy Halloween, Gianni.
Gianni.
And they kept the money. Very funny. So, Nicola, we have people here from Florida. Hello from Florida. Is Jeanette Richardson.
Is that her? Jeanette Richardson? Patterson?
Yes. So this penny thing, just real briefly, I remember people taking what you said earlier to me off the air. Apples. The worst thing you could get was an apple.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Right? But people would take pennies and push them all in the apple and throw the apple in there.
No.
I used to get
Not
that.
where I lived.
Okay.
I had the guys, it was so funny. There were guys that they had big boxes of pennies. So however many pennies were in there. And everybody got wind of, hey, 246 Union Street is giving out pennies. So you grab a handful, and you only had a small hand as a kid. So you grabbed as much as you can, and you put it in your bag. And that was the score. But an apple, somebody dropped an apple in the bag, I felt like throwing it through the window.
Well, yeah, Ruby's costumes. That's right. That's Ruby's. Now that you're bringing this up, that's interesting because one of the worst things that they would give you as far as a candy is concerned, I remember like when, there's lots of candy they would give you, but one of the candies that really annoyed me, and I think I have a picture of it here. It disgusted me. Every time I got one of these, look, I don't think I uploaded the picture, but you'll remember it was the big popcorn kind of, it was like a piece of, it looked like a giant piece of nut, I guess. Yellowy kind of, it was gross.
Oh yeah, the peanuts.
The giant peanut, yes.
The orange peanut. And it was like marshmallow.
Yeah, but it was yicky.
Yeah, but I love them.
Oh, that to me,
peanuts.
When I got that was the worst.
Oh my God, that's because they licked them before they put them in your bag.
And they were loose, I think, too. This was always a classically inexpensive, fun, great thing.
That was called top shelf candy. No way. Yes, that was top shelf candy.
You get like 5 for a nickel something when I was a kid. That wasn't top shelf, was it?
It was name brand. If you got like that, if you got like a little jawbreaker with a generic plastic wrapper on it, That was like the house liquor. This was top shelf, man.
That's top shelf. Okay.
Top shelf. Kit Kats was top shelf.
What about that crappy stuff?
I hated them. I would trade those things for anything.
They pulled out your teeth when you were young.
Yes, those are like mustard-looking, flavored,
unattractive looking. Right. And by the way,
I don't even know what they tasted like.
They're our new sponsor.
I love them. They're awesome.
Great, wonderful. I never liked those either.
Yeah. They're disgusting. Those were like, you know what? You didn't even have to trade anything. Just take these.
Anyway, let's look. We're going later into this. This thing is flying along. I feel like I can't squeeze in everything under this hour tonight for some reason.
Just bang them out. Bang them out real quick.
You want me to bang them out?
Give me some pictures, quick.
Those are called circus peanuts. You're right.
Circus peanuts.
Thank you, Bob.
Rumba, you got to get a life.
He knows everything, that guy.
He does.
He's like a pass. Do you remember taking large colored chalk, crushing them in the Yeah, big time.
Yeah, that was mischief night.
And I also remember when we used to take them and put them in the white sock. You had to have a white tube sock to do it. But I remember we put them all in there, and when the bus would come by, we'd leave them in the street so the bus would roll over them, and they were perfectly compounded and ripped.
Why
did
you have to have chalk?
Because you used to hit it and make those chalk things on the floor. You took the big white, like several inch round pieces of chalk, different colors, yellow, gray. You put them inside a tube sock, and you tie the tube sock off, and then you hit it and you crack up all the pieces. Then you let a car run over them. Then when take this thing and you swing it and you hit it on the floor hard, it makes an imprint of the dust with a circle, like a teardrop circle with all the dust. You never saw that?
Okay, what am I missing? What's fun about that?
What's fun? I don't know. It's fun.
We used to fill up a sock with flour and just beat the hell out of each other with them.
We never did that.
Oh, we always did. You would beat people up. You hit them with eggs. You put shaving cream all over their face.
And if it was hot out, you were battered. So
yeah, that's what we used to do. We didn't do chalk. What fun is that on the ground? Just use the chalk and draw something.
Wow. If anybody wants to come in, by the way, and tell us their story while we're
speaking. Monty?
We're going to bring Monty in now. But if anybody would like to, I'm going to put it in the. This is the link if you want to come in and tell us.
Put it in. We're going crazy tonight. We're bringing regular people. I want Mina Levy to come in. I want to see what she looks like.
Mina Levy lives in Florida. She's not here.
She was telling me a joke today that you and Jackie told the other night.
I don't remember any of the jokes we told the other night. Oh, yeah, eggs at the buses. We used to do that all the time.
See, the eggs at the buses.
Did you ever get hit with an egg, man? It was, and what about toilet paper? The toilet paper all over the things and stuff, too? That was another fun thing.
Yeah, we always had the one ply. It always broke.
Charlie Brown was having it. I got a rock. Actually, Charlie Brown getting a rock was the first sign of depression in cartoons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he was depressed.
He was such a sad sack, that kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, you hit your friends' jackets and clothes. That's right.
See, that's what you did with
Brian's
the flower.
sending me this really long. Oh, he's sending me the picture. Oh, I can't click on it and hear it. Honestly, I can't do that, Brian. But thank you for showing us that. I'm sure somebody else will click on it. And
listen, man, we were kids.
Bill Reed.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, so Bill Reed is not coming tonight, Sonny, because he called me up about 5:30 and said that he didn't realize it was going to be a stream where he was visible, and his hair hadn't been cut because of COVID. So he wants to go doll himself up, and he'll come on next week. So we're going to do Bill Reed next week.
At his age, I'm sure that's not the only stream he's having a problem with.
Yeah. But yes. So anyway, let me tell you the story. We used to go to A&P, which was down the block from us, and we used to try to buy eggs, and we used to try to buy flour, and we used to buy shaving cream, and those were the mischief night things. And then when you couldn't do that, ShopRite would not sell it to you because they knew what you were going to do with it. So we had to go to Met Foods, which was down like 3 blocks away, and they didn't care. They just wanted to sell eggs and shaving cream, and that's what we would do. You'd walk in your house, and you'd be full of shaving cream, your hair, and you'd have sock prints on your head.
Cold and clammy. But you know something? I do remember that shaving cream thing, and I do remember going into stores, and they would not sell you the shaving cream. And I also remember when we used to use the shaving cream, we used to take off the nozzle and take a lighter and make the tip really small, so when you sprayed it would spray further. Remember that?
What the hell's wrong with you guys down there?
Where'd
you grow up?
In Brooklyn. You didn't take the shaving cream and make the tip melted, so it's like a real little hole. So when you sprayed, it would shoot.
No, we used to put it in our hands and smash it into somebody's face.
No, we used to like spray from further away, and then we go far.
That was silly string.
No, we would do it. If you take shaving cream and you take the tip of the shaving cream and just heat it up and squeeze it with your finger,
make it small in a hole.
Yeah, it's like the small hole.
That's what she said.
Yeah, boom. Make Walt sing the shaving cream song. You know the shaving cream song?
I don't even know what Bob's talking about.
Stepped in a bucket of shaving cream.
No.
Oh, it's a great song.
Shaving a haircut.
Yeah. It's a song. So, all right, let's listen. I know I love Chris Monty. I think he's a great,
bring him in,
clean, funny comedian. He's been around for many years.
He's a throwback.
He's a throwback. He's a good family man. He's a funny comic. And he also has a beautiful child recently, which I have to say that this is an intervention. I'm the real dad, and that's the reason we're having the show tonight.
Yes, Chris. That's why I had to call you and set this up.
So
John wasn't. He didn't think it was the right thing to do, but bring him on.
And I'm sorry to say, I don't have a real professional intro for him, but he could tell us what he's been on. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the very funny, strong comedy comedian, Mr. Chris Monty from Long Island.
Comedy star. Hey, he didn't let me down. He did not let me down.
I was ready for Dora. I'll even flip it down for you.
There you go. I was hoping that you were going to wear it.
We used to put the eggs in the freezer overnight and then throw them at the kids. You know,
that's correct. That is correct.
And I'm with John. We used to burn the tips on the shaving cream, and it would spray like a fire hose.
No, I didn't say TIPS. I know I'm going way over the bub. No, you're right. And see,
the family show.
Long Island, though, right?
Yeah, well, Western by Queens.
Okay, all right. See, that's a New York thing, and you were in Jersey City, right, Walt?
Yeah, Jersey City. So we just put it in our hands and smashed it into somebody's face.
Yeah. Okay. See,
we shot it. We threw eggs, frozen eggs.
We did that. What'd you do with the sock? With the sock with the flour?
Flour.
He sodomized it.
Here's the thing, though. When I was in like junior high, we hung out with the kids that were in like 12th grade. They had licenses already, and my one friend had a van. So we used to cover ourselves in the heavy-duty black big garbage bags that you shovel, you rake the leaves and throw them out in. We used to cover ourselves, cut a hole, cut the arms out, cover ourselves in those. We get in a van, and our friend would drive us around, and we'd stop. The door would slide open, and it was like a terrorist attack. Like 12 kids would get out with frozen eggs and the flour in the sock and squirt it, and then we'd get back in the van and peel out and get away.
I forgot about that. My mother used to say, "Put this garbage bag over you," so it doesn't.
And you know how we used to get the stuff too is I never forget it. Every week my dad would do the grocery shopping. Not my mother. And my dad would get home from work because he got off work early. He used to leave a list out next to the refrigerator, and my mother would write something on it, bread, eggs, whatever. And my brother and I would write 3 cans shaving cream on it, like that. And my dad would bring it home because my mother was writing the list. And my mother never caught that we were writing that. So he'd go, "What do you need a little shaving cream for?" And then my brother and I would like, "That's for us."
But you couldn't buy it. As a kid,
3 dozen eggs. My brother's like, "We never used 3 dozen." I know. They wouldn't sell it to the kids.
No.
He's right.
Unless you went in, like, my brother was smart. He used to say, let's, like, August, September, let's walk in and get a can of shaving cream, stock up on it now. It's not Halloween. Then I'm thinking about it.
That's right.
Kid with vision. The kid had vision.
And listen, you say throwing the eggs at the bus. We took the school bus. My brother and I were on the bus, and he would bring the eggs in his duffel bag in like a little cooler, keep them frozen, and throw them out the window as we were driving by at just nonchalant people, just not unsuspecting people. And my brother, one time he clocked the mailman right in the jaw, and the bus stopped at the red light, and we're like, "Oh!" because the mailman come running at the bus.
That reminds me one time, and we would talk about this if we had a wrestling show, but I used to sit at the top of Madison Square Garden. Like that's where we would get the tickets. And you know the knot on the big soft pretzel?
Mm.
Like the knot.
The turnbuckle. I called that the turnbuckle.
Yeah, well, that was the big knot on there. I threw that from the top of Madison Square Garden and hit Junkyard Dog off the head.
That's what was. He's dead now.
I know he is. I know he is, but that just reminded me of it. You're hitting the mailman in the face.
Junkyard Dog, man. You racist.
JYD. Sylvester Ritter.
He was one of my favorites. I used to have the figure.
The what?
I used to have the wrestling figures. I got rid of them. The WWF set. I'm like probably 10 years younger than you guys, right?
How old are you?
So. I'm 48.
I'm going to be 56.
All right, so a little bit older. John, how old are you?
57.
So it's almost like a generation, right? When you think about it.
I had all of them dolls.
Right. And you guys were talking earlier. I watched the whole show. You guys were talking about the costumes. John's right. I remember as a kid, highly flammable written on the box of the costumes as my mother's ashing cigarettes over us while we're trick-or-treating. Go ahead, go to that house. Go ahead. Just walking. We're trailing behind her. She's just flicking a cigarette one after the other. She's lighting them up.
Absolutely right. Hey, Chris, let's ask you if you remember a couple of these things. By the way, we didn't give you a proper intro. So what have you been up to? I know you did your own special that was in Long Island once, right? And I think it's on Amazon.com.
It's still on Amazon Prime. What's the worst that could happen? Other than that, I've been doing a lot of gardening during the pandemic.
Do you know what? Do you remember what candy that you had? Let me bring up some candies. You tell me if you
I remember the candy. I remember all that candy you put up.
How about this?
Yep. Oh man, Razzles. That brings me back.
Razzles.
I remember that.
Razzles.
What's the one in Yep, Mike and Ike's. You know what was my favorite? And it was an old candy, John and Walt, but they still had it when we were kids. Good and Plenty. I used to love.
Yeah.
Remember Good and Plenty? Once upon a time, there was an engineer. I used to love Good and Plenty.
Choo Choo Charlie was his name. Yeah.
That's right.
We had all of that crap. Those circus peanuts things the guy put up, they tasted like they were baked in pepper. They were horrible, those things.
They were horrible.
Yeah, I was the only one who liked it.
Wow.
Yeah, I like the little what was the one, the sugar in the straw there? Like that was like little cocaine for kids.
That's pixie dust.
The pixie dust. That was cocaine
then they had
dust
to
for kids.
Sour, and then they had to make them in 3 foot at the supermarket. It was like a big yeah. Because like, Mom, can I have that? And then all of a sudden you push the car home.
That was top shelf candy, man. You got the generic candy, had no name on it.
Bazooka Joe.
I don't get
Bazooka Joe was top shelf because you got the comic and the candy. I mean, the gum was, let's say, the gum was like a rock. But
it was hard.
You got the little Bazooka comic strip in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You did. And
that was good stuff.
Something else too. Wasn't there something else in there besides something else, like a joke written on the bottom of there was a comic, and there was like a little.
Well, it was a comic. It was a little. It was a little one or two. Yeah, it was a comic.
Like a fortune on it too.
A fortune?
Something like that.
There was something else written.
Where'd you get yours in Elmhurst?
Mine always says you're not getting laid. It always said it.
Turned out to be true.
So, then we had the penny lady, like you guys said. We had the penny lady.
How about this?
Lady, right?
But see, now you guys, we had a penny lady in my neighborhood that you say score, you put your hand in. We had a penny lady that would take 5 pennies and put the clear tape on both sides, Scotch tape on both sides, and you get a strip of 5 pennies in your thing.
That's brilliant.
Not brilliant. It sucked.
She made you work for it.
I would have been
one
like
Jewish lady in the neighborhood.
Can you strip for 5 pennies, please? To strip for 5 pennies.
You couldn't even get a stick of Bazooka Joe when I was a kid for 5 cents.
Dude, you know what we would do in that case? The lady was giving out the 5 pennies on a strip. We'd switch costumes and come back again and get another 5.
There you go. You got to work it out.
Got to work it.
My wife's got all the candy upstairs, though. She's got all the candy ready to go.
Wafers.
What's that?
Oh, I like those flying saucer candy wafers.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
Yeah, space saucer candy tastes like cardboard. Actually, that's like the body of Christ with 2 pieces and a little
same stuff
in the middle. Yeah, and then
same stuff, but except they had Christ balls in them.
Now let me ask you guys: do you agree with me? Do you? I don't know if you do. Wives, you guys do the candy still? Like my wife goes out now. She gets the candy. She gets all the minis, the Reese's. She gets the Whoppers. She gets Butterfingers. Like all stuff that when we were kids was top shelf.
Yeah,
and I taste it and I go, they changed the formula. This is not the same stuff.
No, you don't have a 7-year-old taste bud any longer.
I know, maybe that's it. But even Twinkies, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know? What happened to them is right.
I'm not kidding. I'm grocery shopping last week, and as I'm walking out, they have the sucker racks when you're online to pay. You know, those are the 2 for 99 cents, and they got devil dogs. And I go, man, I haven't had a devil dog since I was in grammar school. So they were like 2 for $1. I grabbed 4 of them. I got them home. So disappointed.
Really?
They're fluffy now. They used to be solid cake. Now
they were solid. Yup. And the cream, it's like shaving cream. It's like they put shaving cream in the middle.
Same thing with Yodels and same thing with Ringdings. The chocolate formula changed.
It's all chemicals now. I mean, there might have been chemicals then, but it was better chemicals.
And Swiss roll, which was the jumbo Yodel without the chocolate coating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
How about they got that cream to swirl? Those were great.
What is that? Cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
Yeah,
that was my favorite. I used to do a bit about that.
Do you really?
Yeah, I used to have it. Well, we all did about all the crap we ate when we were kids. Yeah, I mean, those were the best. Candy cigarettes.
We
had the other ones, John, the little wax bottles of booze.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was
there you go. You had little liquor bottles and you had cigarettes. And now my daughter can't go out in the street without a helmet on.
Well, 2020 though, now we have to update these things and then give them little crack pipes that you could puff on instead.
Dude, you know what the best was about them?
It's got to be a nerve.
The cigarettes, the best about those was they were little white candies, but they had a little red tip like it was the light. Right? Like they were lit.
And it was like 2 puffs of powder and then done.
That's right. They were coated with like a sugary thing. So when you went, it did a little white puff.
Wait a minute. Those were the gum cigarettes. Those weren't the candy cigarettes.
I think he's right. They may have been the gum cigarettes.
They might have been the
gum cigarettes.
Yeah. And then they made ones too. They made ones that were wrapped in soft white paper that were pieces.
That was the gum. That was the gum.
It was chocolate candy. It was a round little circle tube with white paper.
I remember those.
I don't remember them.
Great chocolate in there. I remember the chocolate was great.
But the little ones I'm
for your
talking about.
7-year-old palate, it was great.
How about vanilla egg cream? I remember those.
Then I went on to the other cigarettes. I went on to when I was 8, I went on to the Lucky Strikes. Because the other ones weren't cutting it anymore.
No, I used to get those big bubble gum, the cigars, the big bubble gum cigars.
Hey, before we continue, I have a guest that wants to pop in.
All right, bring the person in.
It's a hot guest, very sexy.
Who is it? My brother?
No. Oh, you find your brother sexy? That's creepy.
He looks like me.
It's one of his puppets.
I went on to the Lucky Strikes.
Daniel.
You got to mute your sound, Daniel.
Bubble gum, the cigars, the big bubble gums.
He's 10 minutes behind.
By the way, he's wearing his Halloween costume now, early.
Who is that? Who is that? Hulk Hogan?
You know Mean Gene.
You know Mean Gene? Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
Oh, he's wearing a Halloween costume. He's a top.
Oh, this guy's nuts, man.
I want to know when is Daniel Miller going to have a nice chick in there with him hanging out? Okay, he has nothing to say.
Okay.
That's it.
That was worth it.
He's got that awful.
You could have put up a box of candy there. Would have been the same reaction.
Anyway, so let me bring up some more of these. Speaking of more candy, here's another one. Boom.
Wow, Junior Mint.
I didn't like those things on the Moco things over there.
Yes.
I didn't like those.
Necco?
I like them.
Yeah, Necco.
Neckos. Yeah.
I didn't like them.
Yep.
What about?
I liked them. They were like thin. They crunchy.
Yeah. What about?
You know what I like? Those atomic fireballs. The atomic fireballs were good.
I had that after sleeping with a prostitute.
Those were great. You know what you try to do? You try to eat as many of them as you can and see how hot you can make your mouth.
Really?
What about the other? Do you guys remember the candy that you put in your mouth? It was like it was loose. It was like gravel, and then it would pop in your mouth. Yeah,
Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks.
Yeah,
didn't they stop selling that because kids were choking?
Killed Mikey from Life Cereal.
It didn't kill Mikey from Mikey.
That was the rumor. Coca-Cola and Pop Rocks killed Mikey from Life Cereal.
Okay. All right. Also, we spoke about this in one of the previous shows, and apparently I showed a video and I got taken off of YouTube from it or something. But there's a video of young teenage girls putting these in their mouth and having a boyfriend, and you could imagine the rest. And I don't know if it was a legitimate commercial or not. It was banned. It said banned commercial. You know where I'm going.
in young teenage girls' mouths, and they were doing things.
Yes.
Well, all I'm saying to you, John, is thank you for that little suggestion. When I go visit my wife after the show.
You sure that wasn't an advertisement for Joe Biden?
No, as a matter of fact, I just want to let you know, Chris, just for future reference, your wife likes bromelade better, just for the future reference. Yeah. How about
You do know my wife.
I do know your wife. There you go.
Fun Dip. I remember Fun Dip.
Dude, bottle caps were my favorite up top there.
Charleston Chew. I remember all that. Yep. That was the Pop Rocks. You know what? I don't know if it was a Halloween candy or not, but you know what was the coolest thing when I was a kid? And we used to have a wiffle ball league in the neighborhood. Then we had stick ball and everything. Big League Chew. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was like you thought you were like a big leaguer with the tobacco, putting it in.
Tobacco. That just turned into a ball of gum.
Do you notice that all the habits that they were pushing us into when we were young were really bad and unhealthy things for our future? If you think about it, I mean, you think about it, they're giving you all the sugar, they're giving you the cigarettes, they're giving you the make-believe tobacco, they're giving you everything that you shouldn't be doing. And then you wonder why.
Right. No, it was a trend until it became, a certain point where they were like, we got to stop. We got to get kids eating healthy and exercising and stop whatever. But you know what? Here's the difference, though. We all ate that crap, but we were out being active.
Yes, that's
the reason we had to stop it is because these kids are fat, lazy bastards that just sit on the computer all day and they're not active. So you got to give them kale and shit like that,
We used to get a 44-ounce thing of soda and then go back for another one.
Yeah, but we were running around all day. Well, we were running around because we were drinking 40-ounce sodas. That's why we're running around.
No, but it was good. I mean, we stayed outside. From the minute you came home from school, you were outside until it was like dinner time.
Until dinner time. That's it.
Until the lights came on.
Until dark.
And then summertime until your mother said, you can stay out till this time, and that's it. And we played all day.
Yeah, by the way.
I had to be home when the street lights came on.
Right, dusk. By the way, I've noticed something here. This is really strange. Speaking of I hate to be so nostalgic. I feel like I'm turning into Joe Franklin here because we're always talking about things. Welcome to Chris Monty. We're talking about
We're brought to you tonight by Motz's, by Strites. The 11th experience of a lifetime, my friends.
Martin, can I play Pete DiLorenzo? Can I do that?
Good.
No.
Go ahead. Look at what's behind. Look at what's behind this guy.
Monty.
Me? What is my mini Christmas story lamp? And like Walt, we wasted our money on the Elvis dolls back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people bought. Oh, there you go. He's got it too. Look.
Rockabilly. Yep, I got the Rockabilly. But see here, Walt, here's the difference. I kept mine in the box and never took them out.
Yeah, but I knew
they're going to be worth something one day. I got to keep it in the box. And then I found out they're worth nothing.
Nah, they're worth nothing. That's why I put them up. I put them up in my man cave. Here's my other one.
Wow. I don't have that one. There's 4?
Yep. There's 4. I don't have that one you have on there.
What Elvis is that?
This is this is
Oh, no, that's not the one. I got that one. That's this guy, right? He's got a pink jacket on?
Yeah, but only my guitar was down. So you put it up there.
That's Rockabilly Elvis, right?
That's Rockabilly Elvis.
Walt, I'm laughing at you because I'm thinking, do you know why your bazooka gum always said you're never getting laid?
Yes. Yep, right here.
You know what the thing is, though? I'm going to break out now. I have Dead Elvis from the coffin. Did you have that one?
I don't have that one.
No, I wish I had it.
Maybe you guys could trade.
I have another
fat body in a coffin.
Is it really?
Where's he going?
Now he's searching for more stuff. But you're one of the few people I have that lamp that I've seen sold inside magazines for many years.
Chris, you ain't got
this isn't the big one though, John. This isn't the one from the film. It's like a shorter version of it.
Wait a minute, I have to showcase Walt.
Chris,
oh, that is cool. Now what?
You don't have this one.
Is that worth money? That one?
I don't know.
You know what?
All of a sudden, I feel like Paul Veneer.
Except that you came here late.
I gave my father a and this is something that was made in 1978. This came out, and I don't have it to show you, but it came out in 1978. Jim Beam, the bourbon company, right?
Yeah.
Jim Beam made a Elvis bottle shaped like Elvis, looked like Elvis in the jumpsuit, Elvis bottle of Jim Beam bourbon. For that 1 year, they made a limited edition of Jim Beam bourbon, 1978, the year after Elvis died in 77. And there was only so many made. They're all they come with the little card, the number of what bottle it is from the batch and all that. I gave it to my dad, and it comes in a beautiful blue box, which opens up like a stage, and the bottle, you pull it out like a little stage, and the bottle stands there with the old, remember the old liquor tax stamp that was on the liquor bottles over the neck of the bottle, that had a bottle. Yep. So I gave that to my dad back in the 80s, and when I worked at a liquor store when I was a teenager, and he still has it, never opened it, has it put away, and so that'll be worth something. That's it from the Elvis Club.
You think it's going to be worth something? It's not.
No, it will. That will be. There was a very limited edition of those.
I just read today.
We're getting also, let me just say this: it's 14 karat gold. The bottle.
Okay.
No, true. Not even from beef.
Maybe that's worth something. But I heard we're getting hit with an asteroid in 2068.
I have two of the. What's the guy that used to swing on the leaves in the jungle?
Tarzan.
I have two Tarzan dolls. I'm serious. In the box, never opened.
You really? What's the guy that used to swing on the leaves in the jungle?
It was the 80s. It was the 80s. But the reason why I bought it is what he did. You press him in his back, right? In his back, and his right arm goes like this from his crotch.
Yeah.
Does he go?
James, how you learn?
Yeah, I bought two of them. They're in the boxes. He does it all by himself, and I thought this is going to be great one day. I have two of them and never opened them up, so I don't know if it has any value.
You put me in a box by myself, I'll do that, John.
Through the cellophane. She has a handy doll. Yeah, see, people have handy dolls still. Hold on to that. Someday it'll be worthless.
Yeah.
So could we throw up a couple more of these, Chris? You tell us if you had any of these too. Let's talk about quick costumes. You ready? Look at this creepy picture.
I had that Batman costume.
Yeah, I think I did too.
I didn't have that one. I definitely was the bum, like the homemade costume was the bum, like Walt said earlier.
Yeah.
I had the Superman costume, and I remember my mother saying, "Put your jacket on," and you're like, "Superman doesn't wear a jacket, Mom." And she'd be like, "Well, this one does."
This one does.
How about this, baby? Look at this. How creepy is that?
Oh, that is creepy. I didn't have that.
What is that? What's her name? Betsy something with the axe.
I have no idea what it's supposed to be.
Also, she's supposed to be something 40 whacks, killed with a.
You think
yes,
so?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Lizzie Borden?
Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden. Yep, you're right.
How about this? Now, I was the magician. I always wanted to be a magician. There's the devil.
You still do.
I still do magic. And there's, I guess, the woman's a wizard. And I don't know what that one in between is supposed to be, a young Elvis or something.
Which one? The little one?
Third one. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's.
I don't know. But you used to dress up in a top hat like that?
Yes, I did.
That's
I
the
wanted to be a
hostage.
Blink.
It's a time traveler from the 1800s from Jack the Ripper.
Anybody ever wear the white sheet? Your mother just goes, you're just gonna be a ghost.
You're a ghost.
Absolutely.
1 year, all my mother had was an old sheet from my sister's bedroom, so it was pink. I was a gay ghost one Halloween.
I had a pink sheet from my. I had a white sheet from my sister's bedroom too, but it had a big blood stain on it, so it fit perfectly for Halloween.
You see now. I thought my joke was going to be offensive, John, because
it's a murder.
And then you go there.
I didn't want to go there.
I was like, maybe I shouldn't say gay ghost, and you're like, well, my sister's had a blood stain on it. No, not because she had a period, because she was stabbed.
That's exactly right. Thank you.
I went as a dead ghost.
Yeah. I actually went 1 year as I went on my knees. I walked around as a midget, and I actually came out of the closet. I was gay. So look, this is. I'm sorry. I came out of the cabinet.
Yeah, that works better.
What are you in the elevator?
Yeah, going down. All right. So here you go.
What do we got there?
What the hell is this? I don't even know what
that's a silly little death circle you got going on there.
Yeah,
Snoopy.
That's like the no-name costume bunch.
Or that's like a sick orgy.
All right. Now, how about this is something else that's creepy. I think I showed you this one already. Yes, I did. Right?
Yeah.
Here's another larger of that.
There you go.
That's Batman and Tommy Gooch.
That's great. Hope
Doesn't
he's
that look like-
watching. That's great.
This looks like Gooch puts up all his kids' pictures. That looks like probably Gooch as a kid.
Yeah. Well, it's
It
a little
does.
skinnier than Gooch.
And that kid looks like he said, "I got a rock," right there.
Oh yeah. There's more than
See,
one
but
rock in that.
that was a great costume because the mask didn't smother you for Superman.
Right.
And Superman never wore a mask, by the way.
Here's the way they came out of the box.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember wanting to wear it before Halloween? You was like, you're gonna rip it.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
No, let me try it on. You're gonna ruin it. I paid $2.79 for that. That's good money.
That's right. Yeah.
And you always had to wear, like, if the top was black, you had to wear like a black shirt under it, so it looked like it was part of the costume.
Now,
Remember
nobody
the UNICEF?
remembers
Remember the UNICEF at the schools? Did you guys have that when you were kids?
Oh,
Little boxes,
plastic-
UNICEF boxes.
cardboard box. Yeah.
No, they had like at my school. They had like a little at lunchtime, a whole festival in the for recess.
Where'd you
It
go
was
to
like a
Catholic?
UNICEF festival, and you give the money. Your mother give you a few extra bucks, and it went to UNICEF, and you get cotton candy, and you try to win. It was like a feast.
No, we
You
didn't
have
have
that
that.
at your schools?
Is that Catholic school?
No,
Catholic
it's public school.
I remember
Yeah.
just a cardboard box. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, they gave you a cardboard box to take and go around to people's houses.
Right.
That I
Right.
remember
That's what we
too.
did.
But we used to also have a feast.
Yeah, well, we didn't have that rich, fancy stuff.
He was in Queens.
And wait, let me just bridge the gap here because when we were kids, loved Halloween. Halloween on a Saturday, oh my God, right?
Oh,
You're
that
doing
was the
backflips. As a
Yeah.
comedian and as a performer, as a club owner, Halloween on a
Hate it.
Saturday, death.
Yeah.
That's this year.
I know,
It's
but
up between that
but,
COVID and doubled it.
what's saving us, John, is not you, because John, there could be the world can end tomorrow, and John will have a gig right before it ends. This guy works more than anybody. I'm telling you, John will be like, "Listen, honey, I might not be home for the world ending because I have 3 gigs before."
I'm happy
That's
to work.
John. I
people-
love John. He works so much. But the one thing is, I'm not working Halloween this weekend. I worked Monday, did a golf outing, did a show Sunday. I'm doing a show Monday for a golf outing after Halloween. But this year, it's weird. But because of COVID, it's actually like I'm not bummed out because we're not working, whatever. But normally, here's the worst. I worked a club I think it was, I don't know what it was, 2000 and when the Yankees played the Philadelphia Phillies.
No
That
kidding.
was
World
19.
Series.
Yeah, I remember that. 2009.
2009.
Wow.
It was a Saturday night. Yeah, it was Halloween on the Saturday, and I was supposed to be in Philly, and the Yankees are playing the Phillies in Philadelphia, right?
Win.
I called the club owner that day, John, and I go, "Are we going to do the show tonight?" And he goes, "Yeah, why?" I go, "Why?" I go, "It's
I hope not.
Halloween, and the Yankees are playing the Phillies in the World Series
In
tonight."
Philly.
Yeah, and it was like game 5,
How was it?
So he goes, "There'll be a show." I said, "Listen, I just don't want to drive down from Queens and get down there, and then you tell me we're not doing the show." No, we're doing it. So I get down there, 8 people, and I look at him and I go, "Do the show or don't do the show. You're paying me." Because I don't care. He goes, "No, we'll do the show." And we did the show for 8 people. But he was like, "You were right. I should have just scrapped it." I go, "Come on. It's Halloween on a Saturday and the World Series and Philadelphia's in it."
Yeah, it makes logical sense too.
Even
And-
Walt would have been like,
Me,
Jokers
you know what
is
me and Mike do?
closed.
You know what me and Mike do? Whenever a holiday, like right around Halloween, would fall around like a Friday or Saturday, because all the parties fall on that.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Saturday or not, Halloween,
Right.
that party is that Saturday.
Right. If
People have
November
parties.
1st is a Saturday, it's still their Halloween party.
Right. So what we do, we look at each other and say, okay, who we calling? Bob DeBono, or we calling Ivorone, or we calling Tommy Gooch to headline? That's what we do. We wouldn't.
So,
we
yeah.
wouldn't-
I feel
That's
bad
what
for
we
those
have
3
to do.
names.
What?
'Cause you just said I feel bad for those 3 names because you just said you used them on the not drawing week.
No, this was years ago when they were starting out.
Nice
Not
cover.
now. Oh no, now I would get them immediately.
No, now I wouldn't call them at all.
Let me ask you a question. What's the name of the defunct club that you did that year with the Yankees playing and all that? What club is that's gone?
I guess it's probably not defunct, so I don't want to say what it is.
All right, so we won't even say then. That's interesting. All right, just
I'll
wondering.
I
text
just said Tommy Gooch and John Ivorone, and you can't tell me the name of the club.
Hey, listen, you're an idiot for outing your friends like that.
That's why
I
did
love
it.
all
They
those
love
guys. That's why I wouldn't say it.
I love those guys.
Right, but look at Chris Monty is kind of like the guy in the middle. He's like, I don't like Biden or Trump. I just like to go down the middle. I just like the other middle. It's good.
Listen,
Hey,
I don't care. Just leave me alone.
leave me
You
alone.
know what's funny? Because you guys, you're both married. You have children. You're older than me. You did it right. I'm late. I got married late, and now I'm an old dad. I'm not old, but I'm an old dad. You know, I'm 48. I'm not old, but I got a 16-month-old baby. You know, at 48.
When she grows up and sees you in that hat drinking scotch, she'll think that you're hip.
Maybe.
Sarcasm.
Maybe.
That's if he's alive.
No, he's a young guy. He's a young hip
But
guy.
here's the difference. You say you're this, you're that. I was listening to guys talk during this whole pandemic, and they're like, I'm going to do different things now, whatever. And I was listening to my single friends, and one of my single friends was like, you know what I'm going to do when this is all over? You know what I'm doing? I'm going to be selfish, and I'm going to go to Tahiti for 2 weeks. And I'm like, I don't think like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a married guy now with a kid. I'm like, I want to be selfish too. I want to go to the basement for 2 hours tonight. Can I just do that, honey? Like Tahiti, you know? Can I just go downstairs and you don't talk to me?
You know, let me tell you, I think this is funny you mention this because I think that when this all ends, people are going to go nuts. And as comics, we'll be working every night because people will be,
think so.
let's come out and have a good time and drink and party. And, you know, we got the cure where, it's going to be party city.
What?
So we're going to be in good shape later. Right now,
what followed the 1918 pandemic of influenza? Do you know?
Sail on coffee.
Vaudeville?
Cheaper.
The Roaring 20s.
Right.
So I agree with you, John. I think
so.
when
was very deep.
It was very
deep.
Yeah, you know, about fact, as he's saying that, and there was that pause there for a moment. The first thing that shot through my mind was as you were saying that, I was starting to think
VD.
I was like, okay, the Titanic was
but the Roaring 20s. When they came, even though they banned liquor, whatever. You know what? I watch it at 12:30. I watch it at 12:30 on MeTV.
What's your favorite one?
There's a few that are my favorite.
But if there's one that comes on, you have to sit there and watch it.
Oh, when Dick York flips the quarter and it doesn't land, it stands straight up and he can read people's minds.
Really?
Right?
Get out of here! You want one of my favorites?
What?
Whose music is that?
Not mine.
You hear music?
What does it sound like?
Maybe you're dying.
I think that's bizarro. I was going to say my favorite.
Twilight Zone conversation. Oh, of course, John.
Of course.
I should have known that.
How could you not?
I knew
That's another one I have to see all the time.
One of my favorites.
And there's so many though that are so great, right?
We did a whole show on them.
Walt, what's your favorite? I don't know.
My favorite is the To Serve Man. To Serve Man with
To Serve Man,
the cookbook. Yeah, the cookbook. That one I'll never turn off. And Willoughby. I'm a big Willoughby guy.
Yep, I like Willoughby. I like so many of them.
I want that to happen to me.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Just get on a train and that's why I want to move down to South Carolina. That's Willoughby to me.
Going to Texas. Yeah, I got to tell you, I keep hearing music and nothing's plugged in. I'm not hitting anything. I'm like, this is driving me nuts. I just paused you guys and I'm like, what's going on? Alexa was playing music all by itself during the Twilight Zone. So whatever.
You mentioned Twilight Zone.
See?
Twilight Zone. By the way, I wanted to show you guys a costume here that I think is hilariously funny that I think I never wore. And this will actually, I think, question your sexuality. You ready?
Who is that?
Nope.
No. Who is that?
Take a good look.
Dr. Frankenfooter?
No, I guess you guys can't see it. I have a big screen here, so I see this really
well.
No,
we see it. Mine's not big, but I see it.
Well, obviously, whoever it is, there's a picture of them in the star on the chest, but I still can't make that out.
It's a Donny Osmond costume.
Oh.
Why does he look so fat?
He looks a little chunky.
It's a Donny Osmond costume, and there was a lot. It was very popular for a long time. Who wants to be Donny Osmond when you're a kid? That seems really odd.
Never.
I mean, the girls, but I don't know.
I don't even think they sold them in Jersey City.
Did anybody want to be Donny Osmond when they were a kid?
Oh,
Nobody.
yeah.
I don't even think Donny Osmond wanted to be Donny Osmond.
It's strange times. These are all strange times. I'm looking at all these stupid candies, man, and I'm like, oh God, it's all over.
Who'd you guys want to be when you were kids?
Who did I want to be?
Like from like TV, or who's your TV heroes or your sports heroes, or who, or whatever, you know?
That's a good question. I always wanted to be in Batman. I'm a Batman guy.
Batman.
Yeah,
John.
Batman.
Let me
There it
guess.
goes again.
John wanted to be like Doug Henning.
No, he wanted to be more like
Was it Edgar Bergen?
Edgar Bergen.
Bergen. No, I wasn't into ventriloquism as a kid. Hi, Mark. When I was a kid, I hate to tell you who I wanted to be. It's
Why?
Now at this point.
No, please indulge us.
Oh, thank
Who
you.
cares?
This will never
No,
go.
I care. I care.
It'll never
Listen,
go away.
it's tricks and treats. This is a treat. You tell us, you unveil.
I used to watch a lot Star Trek.
All right, we're done.
And I
Right?
like.
Don't tell me you wanted to be Sulu.
No, I actually thought I really liked the Captain Kirk when I was a kid. I thought because I liked his values as a kid. I thought he was like a guy that had like strong values, like he'd give up his life for his crew. I thought I liked the.
By
fact
the way,
that
another episode of Twilight Zone I never miss. There's something on the wing.
Nothing on the wing.
Did you see that?
He was a bad actor at the time, but yeah. But I remember thinking
At
his
the
values
time.
were something I enjoyed. I liked his
So
values.
you wanted to be Captain Kirk?
I didn't want to be Captain Kirk. I liked the fact that he.
I'm sorry I
remember
asked
when
the question.
I know. I remember when he-
I'm not.
I thought when he had a crew of people, he would give up his own life for a whole crew of people. I thought that was a respectable thing to do. Like he was like the
Yes,
captain.
but that's what any captain should do for his crew.
I remember thinking that's what I started learning about values as a kid because I didn't understand what values were until then. And now I thought he was a very strong-willed person. That
Oh, you're an orphan?
Good of all.
All of a sudden, I don't want to do this show with you anymore.
Your father didn't tell you values? My father's like, listen, it's $1. It is what it's worth.
I'm going to show you how to make
Don't
$2.
squander it, you little piece of.
Johnny, did you ever have a shirt with the emblem on it?
No, I wasn't like a geek and into it like that. I just said I just like the guy's values. That's all. I mean, then as I got older, I ended up liking the values of other people, that were throwing chairs at each other on stage and dressed as clowns and saying they were other things. I mean,
Jerry Springer. I understand.
all that kind of stuff. Actually, no, who's the guy who used to smoke a lot and he's gone?
Morton Downey.
Morton
Downey Jr., right? Morton Downey.
Yeah, Morton Downey Jr.
Good. Bingo.
You know what's funny? I worked at a construction site when I was right out of high school.
Italian guy working construction. Who would have known this?
Yeah, that's weird.
I worked with construction one summer. That was it. And I was digging ditches and putting in light poles.
Of course you are.
He filmed that show in New Jersey. And we're right outside the studio in the big shopping center where the building was. And Morton Downey Jr. came across the street to go to the deli. And he walked past me smoking a cigarette. And I was digging. I stopped. I dropped the shovel. I'm like, you're the loudmouth. And he looks at me and he waved and smiled and he kept walking. I go, I couldn't think of his name. I go, yo, Pete. I was calling my friend. I go, that's the guy from the show we watch. And I didn't know. And now
where's that? Secaucus? In Secaucus?
It was near there, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it was in Secaucus, the show.
What was that, Channel 9?
Channel 9.
Channel 9. Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah, there you go.
That was great.
Well, guys,
you know what? He had a period there where he was the hottest thing on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge, really huge. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I told you or Jackie the other day. I don't know how I bumped into it, but I bumped there's an old YouTube video of the show, and on the show was Otto and George and Jackie.
Wait, can I look that up tonight?
Yes, you could look at it. I watched it.
No,
it was great.
No, you can't.
I'm telling you,
What was the name of the show again?
The Morton Downey Show.
Morton Downey Jr. Show. Just put Otto and George in, and they'll come up.
Otto and George and Jackie, and so they had a segment about dirty comedians. And it's supposed to be about dirty comics. And Jackie was on. There was one or two other comics. I don't remember who they were. And then they had Otto on there. And apparently who the producer of the show was Bill, who ended up hosting his own television show later on called Comedy on the Road or Comedy Tonight.
Oh, we went through this already. It was Bill.
Yeah, right. Who's a friend of Fry. Anyway, it's interesting watch. You'll really enjoy it. Kind of fun to watch. And it was it was interesting to watch Otto try to be dirty. They bleeping and bleeping and bleeping. The audience is like kind of not like it, and then all of a sudden they kind of liked it, and it turned out it looked like a disaster waiting to happen. It didn't happen. It was pretty cool. Very fun.
God rest his soul.
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys.
All right.
6 here. We're way over. We're way over.
We're way over.
You're cutting into my watching reruns of Johnny Carson right now.
There you go. Is that what you're watching?
I do. Antenna TV every night at 10 o'clock.
He's old school, this guy. He's really old school. Anyway.
Joan Rivers was on last night. I said, my sister came over for dinner tonight. I go, Joan Rivers is on Johnny Carson tonight. My sister goes, aren't they both dead? I go, yes. There's reruns on every night.
Yeah.
They did start that. Anyway, thanks, man, Chris, for coming out, man. Thanks for filling in for us.
Thanks for calling me at 8:55 and asking me to be on the show.
But that shows you the character of Chris Monty.
It shows you I had nothing going on.
That's right. I didn't want to say that. I was going to leave that for you.
Are you keeping busy a little bit? You keep it flowing?
Yeah, actually got a bunch of stuff coming up. Next weekend, I'm going to be in at the Bananas Comedy Club in Hasbrook,
right?
Yeah. Yep. And then I just booked 3 nights at the Borgata in November 19th to the 21st. They're doing shows again. They're starting back in November. Yeah. That
is so great. So I'm going to do the burlesque coming back also?
You know what? We're starting Thursday through Saturday. So I'm saying right now the burlesque is not going to come back probably until they clear everything up and they can probably, have bigger audiences and stuff like that. Because I don't know what they're doing as far as the audience.
It was great. That burlesque show was so much. I did that for 2 years. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and I saw you on that show. We hung out afterwards. You were great on that show.
In fact, we went and had something to eat that night. I remember. Yeah.
Yes. So, and God rest his soul, Jeff Parami.
Miss Parami. Love that guy.
There's not a day that goes by that something doesn't get said in my house, and my wife looks at me and goes, Jeff Parami. That's Jeff Parami you're saying, right? I go, no, I called you a bastard, but you're not. I'm not trying to be Jeff Parami.
That's his word.
This is great. I'm so happy to hear the guys got entertainment coming back. That's gonna be interesting because that theater holds 1,200 seats. So now they're gonna have to do like every couple.
Yeah, they might have to do 50%, but even so, even if they do 50 and they space it out,
people.
You know what the problem is though, Chris? I don't know if you had this problem. I was supposed to be shooting a special this month too, which never happened. But the problem and they said, hey, let's do this special and another time. You gotta wear a mask, and even now, if I do any shows, I see people with the mask. I can't see if they're laughing or smiling. So I'm working the crowd. I'm making fun of somebody, and for all I know, the guy hates me, or if I know he's laughing, so you don't know if you should continue or stop and back off.
A couple of shows I've done when they sit down, they can take it off in their area if it's spaced out. But if they're closer together, they have to wear it. So I don't know what they're gonna do with as far as the Borgata is concerned. But I've just done a couple of private events where they spaced out the rooms, and the people, if they were together and they came in together, they had their temperatures. I just did something Monday, John. They take the temperatures as they come in. They wore a mask, and at their table they could take it off. So it's better for us because you can see them laughing and hear them laughing. But I haven't done. I'm assuming when I do the Borgata, the audience is going to be masked. I'm assuming that.
I don't think so. Not in November. I think after the election, it'll all be gone.
I don't know about that.
Like that. My joke was, I asked my doctor, when's this COVID shit going to be over? And he said, I don't know. I'm not a politician. Boom. So where do we find Chris Monty? You could find Chris Monty where?
ChrisMontyLive.com, and it's Monty, ChrisMontyLive.com. You can check out my COVID 2020 tour that's going on now. Bananas. I'm at the Borgata in Lake City. I'm going to be at Scotty's in Springfield in December. And check me out. And,
on YouTube.
Say
you
hello.
also have YouTube, right? The videos you made.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube with Rich Walker. We got that little comedy show we're doing. And just Instagram, Facebook, anything Chris Monty. If you go to Chris Monty Live, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Chris Monty, and check me out. And I appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us, Chris.
Who properly love. Thank you, Chris.
Happy Halloween.
You too, brother.
Talk to you guys soon. Thank you, Walt. Hope to see you next time with a better mask.
Right.
Ciao, guys.